Hey, yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm joined by a very special guest, the worst duelist.
Yes, sir. The absolute worst.
That's not an insult, that's the name he chose. Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, dude. So I'm the worst duelist. If you go ahead and look at my channel, you'll just find a lot of obscure strategies. There's meta sprinkled in there. I'm kind of just like a casual guy trying to play some Yugs, trying to build decks that I have with like the best of my ability. Really, my channel is kind of like a compilation of just like everything that I love about Yu-Gi-Oh! Strategies and discussion, really. A lot of deck profiles, profiles, because it's mostly just like free content. But yeah, I mean, that's really the extent of it.
All right, cool. Yeah, so you commented on my videos a bunch, and eventually I saw that you were doing content as well, and I subscribed, of course. And I just love your content. For people that don't know, my Eldlik Baal deck that is featured on my channel, that was actually based on the deck you made with the Subterror, Buster Blader, Numeron, everything deck.
Shenanigans deck.
You definitely inspired me for that. And yeah, we were talking, and we're gonna have a small discussion about the differences between European events, communities, locals, and American events, tournaments, locals, because it's very, very different. And I'm pretty sure that people in the Netherlands aren't aware, or people in Europe, and I'm pretty sure that Americans probably also have a couple of questions too about how the things are here, because if you look at them like from the grand scheme, they are worlds apart. They are very different. So yeah, the first topic we are going to talk about is locals. Can you tell me, if you go to a local right now, how would that look? Like attendances and time, round, stuff like that.
Right. So if you walked into my locals right now, there'd be nobody there. But if you went there on a Saturday, you'd probably see probably about 5 or 6 people. It's kind of just doing the usual Yuke stuff, trading, playtesting, whatever. And then we kind of hang out until, we get enough people. Sometimes they fire. Most of the time we kind of don't, though. But right now it's kind of just a lot of just like casual play and just like bullshittery. And I kind of use that to my advantage as well to film. But on average, like post-COVID, whenever we go out to the bigger locals, we have like a really big turnout. It's actually a really good community out there of like 30 plus people, more like 25, 30 to be honest. But yeah, we do like a 5-round tournament. It's sick, whatever. Sometimes we're there till like fucking midnight though, but I mean.
Oh, so you do? Yeah, you start in the evening, or?
Yeah, around like 7 usually is whenever most of our locals start. Yeah.
All right. So from what I know from America, is that the local scene there is indeed quite bigger. Of course, not now. In the Netherlands, there currently are no locals at all. But they are like bigger than 30 people indeed. And I believe that in Germany there are locals that are just as big or even bigger because they have a lot of room. But in the Netherlands, the average size of a local is like less than 20. And then I think that 20 would actually be quite a lot because stores in here are not that big. Now my own local, we have a lot of room. And pre-COVID, our max capacity was 32, and we regularly filled that up. But that is definitely just an anomaly, and we only play 4 rounds because there is no time because we start at 7. And I don't want to, stay there until 12 or something, playing locals.
Yeah, it's rough sometimes, for sure.
Yeah. But like your local's pretty small now, of course, due to COVID probably. But 30 people is like still quite a lot for like just a random local. Like that's regional for us.
It's actually really cool. That's kind of pitiful on stuff.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, no, it's actually really cool. Like I can only imagine if we fucking played out Top Cut too. But a lot of those fucking dick swinging tryhards like want to play out Top Cut. So, but whatever. It's kind of just like more of like King of the Hill like status thing. You know what I'm saying?
Is it that competitive over there?
No, these guys are really serious. Like at the actual like main locals, it's more of the central one because I live in Florida in America, and Tampa is like kind of like the central hub for like all of kind of where I'm at and like Central Florida. Not so much like the stuff down south or like even more northern, but yeah, no, we get people that like I drive like a half hour to get there just to go play Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay. And those guys are like every regional in Florida, they're going to Miami to play in PPG. Sometimes, if available, they do the YCS, the stay the night at the hotel meme, like the whole deal. Yeah, no, they're serious. They're definitely some good players.
Yeah, I like it. So yeah, of course, America's a million times bigger than the Netherlands, for example.
Yeah.
I have people coming from like half an hour, maximum an hour away as well sometimes. Back when we were still open, at least. But like doing that consistently, I don't know, man, like once a week. And I feel like hearing from you, like people actually tryharding, like even the good players from around here, like Rafael and Joshua, for example. Like, we all just hang out on the local, and it's more like chilling, and we are playing the tournament, but it's more like the weekly seeing each other. And after 4 rounds, everyone is like, yeah, let's go to the bar, and no one wants to play out Top Cut. So it's a little bit different already. Just quite interesting. I cannot imagine someone at my locals asking at 10 o'clock in the evening, let's play out Top Cut. I literally cannot imagine anyone doing that.
Well, don't get me wrong. Like they're definitely like the bros. Like everyone's still like, we're the boys for sure. Like it's definitely hanging out too. But like when it's coming down to like rounds 4 and 5, like there's not much joking going on, and there's definitely some salt brewing on the ass end of things for sure.
I think it's very dependent on who plays who in our tournaments. Like most of all, it's just fun, and we really don't care. If you look at our extravagance results alone, the winner was Joshua with Phantom Knights, so I think that already tells quite a little bit about the competitive scene here. It's still very competitive with good players, but the good players all just really want to have fun with the game, I feel like.
Right.
And yeah, I cannot imagine playing Top Cut. Our regionals don't even have Top Cut. Our regionals don't even have...
Oh, what?
Our regionals don't even have proper support, but I'll talk about that in a little bit.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, for us, it's I think roughly the same then, like 30 people. It's quite nice for just a local. People driving from half an hour away is pretty much the same as well, yeah. So yeah, let's talk about events then. Because in America, regionals are big, right?
Dude, like, we have the main one in Florida. It's like 300 people. Easy 300 people. Like, yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Our nationals is 300 people with luck.
Jeez, no, dude. Like, 2019 Eternal format, 300 people like every time, because they did them like every couple of months, and there was stuff like in between, like PPG could do like 100 mans and like more than that sometimes too. But the main like Central Florida regional, like we had people driving from Miami, Tallahassee, which is more towards the north of Florida. Like, yeah, no, and like even people come. Like Paul Cooper was supposed to come to one of them too. Like he was gonna fly out from wherever the fuck and come play, and some other people as well. But yeah, no, we get a lot, dude. Like you pay $20, you get like 8 packs, whatever.
8?
Yeah, I think you get like 8 packs. I'm pretty sure. It might be 5. I'm pretty sure it's 8 though. Yeah, because I remember pulling 2 secret rares and like Bosch format being like, oh god, yes. But yeah, no, it's really cool. Like we play like 9-10 round regionals, and they play out Top Cut. So like that was like the time rules like suck for sure, but it was honestly huge because like sometimes those guys would be there till like 2 a.m. Like I'm not even kidding. Like it's unreal. Like the judges are like, I've literally been here for 16 hours. I can't leave, and I'm fucking starving. Yeah, it's dude, it's serious.
This is gonna like cringe you out a little bit. So we have like 12 OTS stores throughout the Netherlands, which is quite a lot for such a small amount of space. And all these stores can register for regionals. But the thing is, a lot of stores either don't really know what they are doing at all.
Oh no.
Or they don't want to go the extra mile. So there's one store that organizes a regional outside of their own venue, which is Card Guild. And they rent out a place somewhere near Germany, and then the attendance will be like 100. Get it? And that's like the biggest regional in a year.
That's and like a bad regional for us.
It's like 20 euros, 5 packs, and then there's a little bit of price support. But what does occasionally happen is that just a local organizes a regional in their own store, which means that they have room for 20 people.
Oh my.
And then top 8 gets like the playmat, and that's it. There's no price support. You just get entry packs, and you just get the mat, and that's it. Then you leave. So,
oh man,
it doesn't even matter if you win like a 100 person, if they don't give additional prize support, or like a 20 person, because you still only get the playmat, because regionals here are horrible. So what I do for my own store is we also organize it in our store. Because we have like room for 32 people, and we can up it to like 38 to 40 because our store's quite big. And for our levels, that's good enough. Like, I don't want to go the extra mile because we are already way above average. And we do actually give out price support. Like, once you entry, we do like, you get 5 packs for entry, and we do like 2 to 3, dependent on how many people will participate for the top cut, the top 8. So it's actually worth going to a regional, which I am firm behind that store should definitely be doing that. But there have been regionals where a store all the way in the south had a regional for 12 men. That has happened.
Oh my! It's like you just like beat your friends. So like
I remember when I was in Team Card Guild, there were 4 of our guys went over there, and they all were top 4, and it was hilarious. The store was like,
man, that's
I believe like 12 or even less people. Can you imagine that there's a regional and you can actually qualify for the European Championship or the NAW?
That's kind of huge. Honestly, it's kind of huge. Like, that's just free, to be honest. That's so
exactly.
cool.
Like, what do you
honestly,
have to do to
be fair,
do not win a 4-round local?
Beat my roommates. That's funny. On the same note, though, I will say that generally, at least the Central Florida regional, it's usually like a majority, like the same, like 16 guys that usually end up getting into top 16 because they're just, they just grind it out the most. They're
but that's
players.
That's like fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Like in the Netherlands, we have like, it's just so different because your country is so big and our continent is not as big as your fucking country.
Yeah.
We have like, if I'm gonna be like completely honest with you, we have. If I am as arrogant as I like to pretend I am, we have 3 good players that are actually good. I would actually go to 5 with that because there are a bit. But what it comes down to is we only have Raphael Neven and we only have Joshua Oosters. So there's like in our top cut of regionals and on nationals, there's like a lot of variety because people come from all over the place and like because there isn't like a certain line like the Americans have, because I believe that you have like a very high amount of good players that consistently top. We don't have that at all.
Like teams of like good players. Like all the luxury guys are good. There's like like packs included in that and shit. Like tons of guys for sure. And then there's Simo.
Oh, does Simo play competitively?
No, it's kind of tilts me about him too because like he just like runs his mouth so much and then he like just commentates, but guy's fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one of the guys on Zodiac trying to cancel him. The guy's fine, but he's just like just talks. He talks like blow smokes out of his ass. That's all.
He's definitely a YouTuber and other player. That's
yeah, for sure. Which is fine because he actually helps newer players, which is something that we can even talk about next. Is just like getting people to play the game through like NNA to Europe. So like he's a pillar really worldwide, but not even really about Simo. Like. There's a very big problem I've noticed. Really, might just be a thing in my area, but I feel like it could also just be a Yu-Gi-Oh thing. But I feel like it's more of an American thing where someone tries to get into the game, and it might be like I watched some YouTube videos and I built this deck with like Salad was like really big for getting like new players. And to be honest, there was a lot of new guys just playing Salad, or someone that's like, I play when I was a kid and I just have like my stuff still. Like no one wants to help these people. Like. They kind of just like end up going to the shop and like going around and trying to make conversation, and it's a lot of like one wording, and it kind of falls into, I think in America, local specifically is like really click based, and like really more so regional too, because like you talk to the people from your area, but it's kind of just like makes it impossible for us to grow the community. Like I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh with like the same people for like 15 years. It's just kind of frustrating, honestly.
I think it's kind of a small elitism. I remember when I started playing, we had like a group of like 8 players in the Netherlands, and they were all really good. But they were like the difference between them and like the 9th player was like so huge that they were just like, if you're not good, we're not talking to you, and you are not, and no one else is good. So it was kind of a weird situation, and I'd like to think that has changed, but the game is just very difficult. I agree with you. Like if someone new comes into our store, I'd have no idea how to help them, because I'd love to say like just go try out locals, but then round 1 you could be facing Raphael Neven or Joshua Oosters, or me, or some, or like any of the good players, because like the I like to pretend that the big competitive players are all coming to my local, which is roughly true. But we do get new players occasionally, and so far they all liked it. Like, the group that I started playing with is so much different than the group I am with now. Like, Suffer White Joe as well. He's only been playing for like roughly 2 years now.
Oh,
so
wow.
he's actually quite new. Yeah, the entire group that I'm testing with now, like, if I look back, then only Bruce and I have survived from like the core, and even I was new to that core. So only Bruce has been playing for like the entire competitive scene in the city where I live, at least. But yeah, no, a lot of new players do come in, and I think it's indeed like difficult, but it's just difficult to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, starting out. I think you need a lot of help.
There's just like a learning curve that's just like so steep in the game, but that's been talked about like into the ground. But
I think it's commitment as well.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. You have to care.
If you walk into a store and you're like, I want to play a game, and then you like play a local, and then you're like, you have like two paths, like, okay, I can come back next week, or okay, I can stop, or like, okay, I just got my ass handed to me, but next week
I'm gonna go play Catan now.
but next week I can do better, you know. Just like learn, adapt, overcome. Because I remember it's actually a good example of this. He came in with like Grief Keepers or something weird.
Oh no.
And he got like beaten, and he was like, okay, yeah, now I'm gonna buy a meta deck, and he just bought like Thunder Dragons, which wasn't even expensive at that point. And like, it's just like the mental choice you make, like, okay, I want to play with these guys are cool, and of course you have to be open to make new friends, because that's what it's all about, because you can't go to locals alone. And then you like enter a little bit more into the competitive scene, and then you have like weekly, because we have like our community is pretty big for my store alone, and they're all like not the best players. They're like all pretty okay, because of course the level at our store is pretty high, but they all like commit, and they come back each week, and they all learn each week, and that's pretty nice to see. So what you said, when you said like our friend group is like the same 15 people, is that like consistently throughout the years? Is there no one else entered like your group, or?
I mean, like, honestly, yeah. I mean, like, the same group of guys I've known from like this local that's closed and that locals that's closed. Like, I started playing when I was like 15, and a perfect for instance is like, whenever I think it was like 2018 or something like that, we had a couple kids that were showing up. They were younger guys, like 15, 16, like how I was when I started, and like, I got fucking down paired, of course, and I had to play one of them. So whatever. I scraped this kid. He's playing dinos, like 3 structured decks, whatever. And this is back like when Shadal dinos was like a big thing. So after we played, I'm like, let me see your deck. Like, I'm the guy that's like, lay it out. Let me look at it. And I'm like, okay, well, look into this. Like, you can make improvements here. Like, I gave this kid like Shadal fusions, and like I gave him windows and stuff. Like, nice. I just had like extra stuff laying around. I'm like, here, take this. Play. Come back with like your brother or whoever else you came with. And it's just like no one else does that, and I think that's part of like the barrier of like why I've played with these like same guys for like the past 10 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's frustrating.
It's a form of magic where like a new player comes over like a kid, and the kid gets like 0 forward, but he still had like a great experience, and everyone gave him cards.
I was that guy once too, which is like why like I try to help people like that. Like, I just give cards away to people all the time, like supers, like even ultras too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but also I'm definitely the guy that like whenever I like invest in like anything in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's so that I can play with it, and like anything I pull from like packs is just like all extra. Like, I really like, you know what I'm saying? Especially now that I have the channel too, like I just like open packs for the channel, so I just give so much shit away just because I love Yu-Gi-Oh and I want people to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, but it's really difficult to like focus on your own local and help someone else, though. I think that's maybe the barrier that people have for like teaching new players. Like, it's really difficult to take the time to actually properly introduce them to the game, because there's just so much to introduce them.
Yeah. So don't get me wrong, like, I'm not trying to explain how fucking like niche card interactions work to somebody, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to like give them a push in the right direction for the most part.
That's what I like to do. I just like to like help them out with the basics, and then just like throw them to the wolves, and just like you have to
I mean,
to
like
learn
you said, it's a grind. It's a grind, like exactly like you said, it's just a grind.
You're not gonna win your first locals. If you're expecting that, then that's just like your own mindset. That's just kind of weird. But
Yeah, bro. I tell you what, the first time I did win locals.
Like,
yeah.
Either you walk away like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna win next week, or try to, or I'm gonna quit. That's like, kind of like the road. And I think that it doesn't necessarily have to be that black and white. Like, I would love for everyone to just come in the game and play, but that's just not gonna happen, because not everyone is gonna like come to locals and play versus Triton. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, especially as a new player looking at a Vanity's ruler going, wow, this is real fucking fair.
What do you mean?
Like,
do you think a new player will actually special summon? What do you mean?
Facts. Normal summon board trader, let's go.
Pass. Nice.
Yeah, right. For sure. So
I think
unfortunate, but
I think these are like problems that the entire world has. How do you properly introduce new players? How can you actually set up like a program to help them? I don't think that's ever possible, honestly.
Yeah.
So like
Konami doesn't help either.
Either it has to stick, or it doesn't.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of weird, or maybe it's like our locals or something. Like the way that I'm not sure how you learned Yu-Gi-Oh, but when I started, I was going to like a store that has just opened together with my friends, and we were immediately the big community there, because we were with 8 people, and then our first local at like 16 or something. But it was all very low and casual, and eventually a player came over and he was actually good, and it was like kind of tilted. But then we all went like, okay, no, we lose to him every week, we want to get better. So we all, like, instead of like being thrown to the wolves and then like have to fight our way up, we all just like steadily increased over time. Did you have the same experience, or were you like immediately, no, I'm gonna have to grind out Orcus?
I was I was like literally thrown to the wolves. Like,
no, that sucks.
I went to locals, and it was like wind up in Zector format. So like I'm just out here. I like, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I'm out here just like trying to play Fusion Gate Heroes because I do it at school in the band room. Like, you know what I'm saying? And this guy just loops my entire hand with Hunter, and I'm like, check W. How the fuck do you beat this? What the hell, dude? And then I realized what a hand trap was. I was like, holy shit, this effect builder card's broken. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Then
and it ultimately literally came down to like 16-year-old me basically like begging for a dishwashing job so I could have money to buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And then that's kind of like where it all sort of came together, like due to research of like early Yu-Gi Tube, because that's kind of in the earlier stages of Yu-Gi Tube, and just kind of figuring it out. But even then I still like played whatever I wanted. But yeah, I mean, never really like really invested into like an actual good deck until it came around to like Teller Knights. Like, I was just like out of the game for like 3 or 4 years because I'm just like, fucking dragon rulers are cancer. So
was Teller Knight a good deck? What?
Fuck off. I came back in and I read Trevere and was like, oh, this card's broken, and I picked up the deck for like $60 because it was already reprinted, and that's what I was really like.
This post was made by the Fire Lake gang, Was Teller Knight a good deck? What did you do? Set 3?
Yeah, bro. What you mean? I'll shit on shit-alls every time, but I'll definitely die to some BA. Yeah, that's no good for sure. But
so we talked a little bit about locals, size of events, community. You said traveling would be an interesting topic as well, because of course having a YCS in the Netherlands is slightly different than having a YCS in America. Because that can be in 20 million places in America, and in the Netherlands it can only be 1. And for me, that's a 20-minute train ride away, which is quite nice. So
beautiful. Must be nice.
When there's a YCS in Utrecht, I can leave my house and be at the YCS in 45 minutes.
Fucking nice. What?
Yeah. That's like with train and walking over, and I can drive my car as well if I like, but that's expensive because we are Dutch and we like to take the train. And if there's like a YCS in Germany, like Bochum, then it's only like 2 hours away with car, which is quite nice. And if we have to go to London, we fly by 1 hour. So that's pretty nice. But I can assume that if you have a YCS on the other side of the country, you're kind of fucked.
I know, it's like, it turns into like $1,000 like whole like escapade. It's like you pretty much have to like go on like the events page and like find the one that fits with your schedule, plan it all out, get 3 other guys to split this fucking hotel room with you, so it's not like actually $500 a night for you to fucking stay somewhere, like with food and everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, YCS
yeah, it's a damn nightmare. It's a damn nightmare. And then like the worst part is like you said, you have the ability to just like hop on the train, be there in 45 minutes. You can literally just do that by yourself. And then the actual worst part about it in America is people just flake. Like, people will just be like, yeah, actually, a meteorite landed on my car, and I, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, people just come up with the most crazy bullshit, and then you're just kind of stuck, like, getting refunds all over the place. It sucks.
But I can imagine that, because it's like a fucking huge commitment for you.
Facts. Yeah, actually facts, though. Because so it's definitely understandable, but it's just hard to find a group of people that are like, okay, like, we're actually doing this, like, it's all on the table, like, let's go do it, which is, you know, kind of hard. Yeah. And like another thing, it kind of falls into like, if you're not in with the guys that are trying to do that, you're kind of just like not going.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that would be like such a difficult entry barrier. Like, for us, it's literally like, I believe that last time we went to Prague, or we went to Milan, I was literally at my locals and I was just asking who's going to Milan. I can get this hotel, like 3 rooms for this price. Anyone wants to go? And they were like, yeah. And like the next day, I just sent them like a payment request, and it was like done in like 2 days from just like, you want to go? Yeah. To like, it's not even a question anymore if you want to go.
Yeah, that's like, sick. That's so cool.
It doesn't even, like, in my mind, the only thing I think about is that I have to time it right with my money. But like, my job is really flexible, so I can just always go. I cannot imagine like having to, like, 3 days of travel, or maybe even 2, you know.
Like, it takes me fucking 2 hours to drive to regionals, so like an hour and 45. But basically, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I wouldn't go.
So that's just crazy to me.
I wouldn't.
Oh, you really
go.
Wouldn't go?
No.
That's not my only option, though. So
I have like the barrier in my mind that if it's further than 1.5 hours away, it's not worth it. Because
true, I guess.
In that radius around me, I can go through like the entire Netherlands except one store. So there's one region a year that I don't go to because it's
okay. Sure,
it's like it's a 2-hour drive, which is 4 hours of my day. I cannot be bothered going fucking.
It's also
there.
like, like physically and mentally taxing, because like Yu-Gi-Oh is definitely draining like all of your energy by the end of the day. So definitely makes sense.
I miss that so much.
Yeah, when you like you feel like you just fucking. Like, you're coming down off like some kind of high, like you're just flattened on the couch afterwards. Like, my God,
sitting at a table at a YCS at like 10 a.m. after you slept like 5 hours is the best feeling ever.
And like everyone was just like dicking off the night before, and you're like, guys, like I literally made it to Top Cut. Can we like please go to bed? Yeah, it's definitely.
I have to play tomorrow. You are on the bubble. You don't. I have to play tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then lose the first round, and then you're like, okay.
Yeah, for sure. You just like get completely exposed. You're like, all right, well, whatever.
Yeah.
It's funny because like I remember the first video you ever posted of the Guru list. Because I watched you on Lithium's channel, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna post a profile later, and I was like, oh, lit.
Was that the?
So I go to your
London?
Channel. I think so.
With
I don't know. Whatever,
hotel room, right?
Yes, I'm like, this guy's taking a fucking page out of Johnny Lee's book here. Let's go. So then you sit down and you start like recording. I'm like, this man is so dead. He's just like completely done for.
But I was so happy. That was so much fun.
Oh yeah, man. That's like your crowning jewel. It's gotta be.
If you want to know like how easy it is to go to YCS, there was London, which is like an hour away with plane, so that's already nothing. I believe that plane ticket cost me €80, which should be something like $90 to $100 maybe for the plane.
Yeah.
Back and forth, and we booked our hotel a little while in advance, and then all of a sudden the Airbnb account of the owner got cancelled. So our booking got cancelled, and this was 2 days before our flight. So I had 2 days to rebook a hotel. Can you imagine how stressful that is?
Oh my God, yeah, you're losing it.
But it doesn't matter because it's London. Like my thought was literally, we can just fly there anyway and just find a hotel. If it doesn't
you can just like walk in and figure it out,
But then I was just messaging with Airbnb with their customer support, and like the day after we had like a new hotel, and that was like the nice hotel that I showed in my video.
Yeah, no, that was sick for sure. That's so crazy to me. 80 euros there and back. It's like $200 plus for a round trip.
The hotel was quite expensive, but it was worth it. I saw the pictures. It was like a little bit more expensive than the one we had already. But I was like, no, it's gonna be worth it. Trust me, guys, and it was. But I believe like our entire trip to London, which is arguably the most expensive trip or a YCS to go to, because London is super expensive with food. I believe the entire weekend cost me like €600, which can be like something like $700 maybe, for an entire weekend in the most expensive city.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like even like like you mentioned, the flight was like an hour. Like if I want to go from here to like Pasadena, it's literally like fucking 3.5 hours to fly over there. Like I might as well just either like take some sleeping pills or something, or like better bring my Switch or something, like, because it's brutal. I flew out to Colorado once and I was done, dude. I was absolutely done. It sucks.
Have you
like
ever
the
done a
jet
road
lag is
trip?
unreal. Oh fuck no, dude! That's like out of the question. That is just like completely out of the question. Like I said, dude, going to regionals is almost 2 hours. So like, God no. Like even going to, I almost considered going to PPG Miami like a couple months ago. One of the events they held over there, one of their COVID Pro Play tours. It's fucking 3 hours to drive down there. I'm not doing that. And like, sure, the flight's like nothing, but I'm not gonna fucking no way, just no way.
I drove to Berlin, which was 8 hours, just fun.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh man,
that was more for the experience. I don't know why we didn't fly. I believe because it was cheaper with gas. But oh my god, that was a road trip. 8 hours on the road with 2 guys. Oh my god, that was insane.
You guys have it so easy over there. It's so cool.
Yeah, I like it, but like the trade-off is I think that it's quite smaller because our YCSs are like 2,000 attendance.
Oh yeah. Wait, hold on. Run that by me one more time.
2,000.
2,000 for the YCS?
Yeah.
I think that's actually more than us.
Really?
I'm pretty sure we're closer to like the 1.5K, like the 1K per YCS. But also that could be a product of there is just so many, so not as many players like have to go to like this specific one or whatever. So honestly, that kind of makes sense the more I think about it.
Yeah, and I also think that's
fucking nuts. Going from like 30-person regionals to that.
Yeah, but like a regional in Germany is up to 300 people. I do have to admit that.
Right,
like,
okay, that's more
our nationals is like around from 200 to 300, but like it's only the Netherlands. But like the nationals in Germany is like 400 to 500 people, I believe. It's actually
right, okay, but it's also nationals. That's like you have to get invited to it, so that makes sense.
Another topic that I wanted to talk about is the secondary or primary market for what it's worth. So I work in the shop, so everything is insanely easy for me. We open sealed product and we have multiple vendors in the Netherlands alone, even though our country is like 4x4. But European market with Cardmarket is like the best thing ever. I don't know if do you know how Cardmarket works?
No, actually, it's funny enough. I remember I messaged you once. I was like, hey, I try to buy something off here, and I realized it's like only Europe.
Yeah, Cardmarket is only for Europe. So we have it's kind of like a Toronto or something like that, I guess. We have like separate for Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! But the thing is, you can either be a private or a professional seller. And if you're a professional seller, you're registered with your government and you pay like taxes and stuff, and you're like a store, an actual store. Or you could be a private seller like me, like I just sell my cards on Cardmarket if I have like some spare or something. But this basically, everyone has access to this. Everyone. Like a guy from Spain, a guy from Germany, a guy from Italy, a guy from the Netherlands like me. Like, for example, if I open up a case, then I can just sell this stuff on Cardmarket just like everyone else, and it doesn't really matter. And this makes it so that our, offer and demand, it's like quite pretty good balanced. Like, the rule is kind of like a new secret comes out and it will be like around 60 to 80 euros, which is like $80 to $100, I think. But you can just buy them. They are never like insanely expensive or insanely like low or something. But what I see from America is either everything is like fucking the most expensive card ever, or it's sold out and you cannot get it. Together with sealed product, because your sealed product stuff is also kind of fucked, right?
Yeah, it's because it's just so hard for like the majority of shops to get stuff, and like I feel like a lot of the places that have access to it are kind of just like hoard it to a degree, so it is very problematic. Like we have access to do kind of very similar thing that you do with Cardmarket through TCG Player. Like I could make an account and ship my shit if I wanted to. Some of my buddies do it from their house, and I think it works the same way where you can like do it as like private or professional, like the same kind of thing.
Okay, it sounds the same,
it's like that's honestly like really the only way you should do it, really buying and selling in general. Because like if you try to do it in person, it's just so cancer. Like I can't even fucking sugarcoat it. Like people, there is just like this idea that people go into with the stack binder where like I'm not going out of this unless I'm going plus, and it's just such a pain in the ass. Like it's kind of like made it so like trading just like doesn't exist, which I honestly think could be a Yu-Gi-Oh
really
thing, but I don't know.
We really don't care right here. If you have an expensive card, you just like if someone wants it, you can. We go to Cardmarket and we look up the value. So what's really expensive right now? Is it like talents or droplets over at your country?
They're both like 100 plus. Yeah, 100. I think drop might be like 90, but still.
Okay, triple. So for example, you have a triple tactic talents. I just go on Cardmarket on my phone. I just go to triple tactic talents right here. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. And I can just see like the entire list here, and I can just buy, let's see, I can buy 5 from England for 60 euros, which is roughly $70, maybe.
It's insane. Yeah, that's insane.
And I can just like, so if we are trading, then what we always do is kind of player agreement. We just look at the lowest English seller, and that's all we do for trading. Like that's the value.
Yeah, that's definitely what we do too. But it's still like there's always like that kind of like, oh, I need to fill out like a few dollars here, and like the guy that's trying to fill it out is always like, let me squeeze like this extra like $4 or $5 out of you, and it's just kind of like, come on, dude. Like I was saying earlier, like I don't care, like whatever. Like if you need this card, I will probably sell it to you at like 70%, like even 65, depending on the card and who you are. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for my friends.
Most people are like, usually when you do like cash sales, they try to go some percentage.
Oh, do they get like bullshit excuses like, yeah, but it's lowest, but it doesn't include shipping.
Yeah, it's like just a fucking nightmare trying to like. That's why I just don't bother. And like, as soon as a new set comes out, I go, these are the secrets that I want. I'm just going to pay for them. They can go down, they can go up. I don't give a shit. I'm not getting rid of them.
That's the strategy I have right now. I've been fucked over by like cards I wanted to buy, but I thought, no, they are too expensive. I'll wait a week, and then they were more expensive. Like
talents actually, yeah.
I could have bought the entire fucking Dryad deck for 30 euros, maybe $40, because when it released the Dryad Ultra card, it was like 5 euros over here. I know it's 40. I could have just bought it, but I was like, nah, I don't bother about that deck. But if I would have just bought it, I just pay like 30 euros. I'd have like 120 euro profit, but I didn't do it because I'm stupid.
Yeah, for sure. But it's like when Talents was brand new, it was like 65, whatever. I could have picked up, it was like rising a little bit, but I'm like, it's just hype. It'll probably go down. And then Call by went to 1 and it was $110. I'm like, fuck me. I could have got a set of these at 60 each. Like, god damn it.
Rise of the Duelist is like a very special set. Like
facts,
that 100%. Entire market is completely fucked because Konami fucked it over.
Yeah. Well, that was like kind of one of the first sets during COVID, so that kind of makes sense. But yeah, no, it's just frustrating.
It's the first set that never got reprinted because they
there's
stopped
no unlimited
with
print. Yeah,
there's no unlimited. They stopped with the special editions. So like triple, triplet, and Nadir Servant are all fucking expensive because
instead we got
there are no more copies
collectors.
Coming. Yeah.
Whatever. The fucking Legendary Duelist one. Yeah, we got that instead. Like, god damn it.
Yeah,
it's okay. The next one will be promising. We got Souls. But yeah, for the most part, for the most part,
I see
market
like
sucks.
On Zodiac, I see like, I'm looking for this card, and then the card's like fucking 50 euros over our lowest, and I'm like, are you sure you want that? You sure you're gonna buy
definitely,
for that it's such a hassle to buy cards from USA for me, or like to buy cards from Europe for you. Because you have to pay
That's such a pain, dude. It's
to pay taxes and stuff over the cards. It sucks so much.
The shipping's like insane, and it's like almost just like not even worth it right now. Yeah, but yeah, it definitely sucks.
I really like American printing though.
You don't?
I do.
Oh, you do. See, that's what I was gonna say. It's like such a weird thing, and it's like probably just because like I've had this like style, like this shading, like this ink for like my entire like career as a duelist, and then I see the Euro ones, I'm like, oh, they're so much darker. They look so much better. And it's like the inverse for you guys.
It's human nature, right? You always want what you can't have.
Indeed, yes. Yeah, it's it's an enigma. It really is. But it's always kind of made me laugh.
Yeah, because it's all kind of dependent though on the card. Like Abystos is like ugly in American, but in European it's like the nicest shit ever. But like an Ultra Guru in American is like the best flowing ink I've ever seen, and then I really love that.
It's like it's just so funny because like a buddy of mine was like, yeah, I'm trying to stack up my binder. I'm going to Worlds because all these fucking idiot European guys want the English cards. Am I right?
It's what Rafael Nevin does. He goes to locals and he just buys like everyone's stupid OTS supers for like 50 cents. But then he goes to America and he sells them for like $2.
Yeah. And he's like, hey guys, these fucking stupid Americans.
Yeah, but he's buying all the ultis and then look at all the stupid Americans. They're buying this entire binder for like 500% value.
Yeah, and like he sells them at the NA prices too, and he's just like, oh god, yeah.
It's like vendors at RYCS. They have like the most sad sleeves ever with like a small American flag to point out that the cards are American, and then like the price is like 20 euros more expensive, and I'm like,
yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny how like the markets like blend like that and create like this fucking. It's like this inflated like third market. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
All right, so interesting that we both kind of agree that your market is a little bit more fucked.
It's a shit show. Yeah, it's a shit show.
Yeah, we have so many people around Europe, like private sellers that think they are like fucking professional sellers and they buy like multiple cases and stuff, and it makes no sense.
Yeah, okay. But we have those guys too, but yeah.
So the last kind of topic that we wanted to talk about is politics. This is for now a political channel. Who has the better players?
Yeah, that's an easy one. You guys are just literally smarter than us. Like, we're just fucking apes. Like I don't know. It just maybe it's the way you guys approach deck building, but I don't know.
I think there are very many good American players. I think that the overall quality of a good European player is just better. And
yeah, it kind of comes down to quantity versus quality, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that your country, because you have so many events, that it's more easy to be recognized as good versus our country. Like if you win a YCS here, I think that winning a YCS here is more difficult than winning a YCS in America. Just look at Rafael Nevin, he won with Duna Light Kick. That's actually a major accomplishment, so I don't want to don't talk it. I can also be like talking out of my ass here, but I honestly think that YCSs in America are significantly easier because the overall level is like I feel like Europeans try more for like themselves versus Americans that are like, no, I'll just pick up this deck and I'll just play it against like actually testing and deck building.
I think that it like kind of that's exactly what it is. A lot of guys are just like, yeah, I'm gonna play my tier 3 bullshit. And like the night before the event, they're like, nah, I'm good. I'm actually just buy all these cards off the buddy I'm staying with, and I'm gonna play this instead. And they like rewrite their whole deck list the next day. And it's definitely like day one. I feel like if you're actually good, which I'm definitely not, I feel like day one is just kind of free. It's just like at least like up to like around like 5 or 6. It's just absolutely free if you know what you're doing and like you've like made the meta call.
It's really not free here. I remember with the 200th YCS round 2, I had to play against Rafael. I was like, okay, cool.
having a good time.
Having a good time.
You have to play
just like locals.
You have to play Thomas Rose too, right?
We have Thomas Rose. I haven't played against him, I believe.
I guess you just must have been chatting with him at that one YCS that you topped. Or
yeah, we are
a national. But the Guru event.
Could be possible.
Okay, but yeah, no, still though. Like
I remember as well, like I was X1 on the last YCS in Utrecht, and round 6, I believe I had to play against Vladis, Hypnocorn on Twitch, Vladis Baranovsky. You know him?
No, it's Coder. No,
it's like the OG Luna Light player. He was like.
I'm sure I've seen him just through YouTube.
Probably, but like he's also like a really good player, and it's like, okay, cool, I'm X1, he's X1, now I have to play against a very good player playing dinosaurs. This sucks. And it's like
right, yeah, it's like all the marbles too.
That's like so realistic. Like I feel like going to an American event, playing 8 rounds versus a European event, 8 rounds, that I would like know more players I played against on the European events.
Like the names are just bigger, right? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. There's just like a lot of because you really don't get recognition here unless you're like top 8 and above.
Because for the invitational,
top 32s are like that one guy that did well with mermails. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like how Joshua Oasters is being famously recognized for all around the world. Like, oh yeah, you're the BA guy, right? Yeah, you are.
Yeah, for sure.
He hasn't played that deck in 2 years, but sure.
Yeah, but he's just I guess he's the PK guy now, right?
But if I look at like your extravagance or your invitational, this is kind of similar for ours as well. Like there were just no recognizable names. Like I didn't recognize anyone from your invitational.
The guys that played Bird Up and like kind of brought that deck to the light, I had no fucking idea who those guys are.
Yeah, me
but
too.
Obviously they just like grinders, like they're just like grinding together.
Yeah,
like,
and then
you know what I'm saying?
The winner, Caesar. I interviewed him actually, and a lot of the questions that I had actually came from things that he said. But like apparently he's really well known, but he does live in Puerto Rico. So maybe that's like a little bit different, but he apparently is a pretty well-known player. But if I like, when I posted the interview and I got like a lot of comments like, who's that? But like, he's the winner of your invitational. And then everyone's like, yeah, but he's not good. He's playing Kuru, but like, he won the invitational, and bro. He had to be invited and stuff like. It's like I'm defending your top players to your own country versus like that over here. If you have like a semi-well-known player, like for example, Raphael Nevin is known worldwide, but like Joshua Oasters is like on a little bit smaller scale. Like I would defend Joshua through like life and death to anyone. Like who's that? Like that's fucking Joshua. You don't know him. He is like 2 YCS. Like I know his entire fucking record. Like it seems like so weird from like American players. You're like, oh yeah, I don't know who that is as well. No clue.
There's a stigma. There's definitely a stigma of just like discredit that's just like gets thrown around way too easily. But like that exact comment, like, oh, he plays Guru, he's fucking trash. Like, why are you discrediting this man? He literally like went the distance. Like, are you kidding me? But to be honest, I didn't.
The king of duels in your country.
Yeah, I know. Hey, fuck you, Sam. But yeah, I didn't know who he was either, though. To be completely honest with you, I never heard of him. But like,
yeah, me neither. I looked him up for a little bit, and then I found out. Okay, so he's the head judge of the PPG event. He's a major Konami judge as well. He does a lot for the community. So maybe that's a little
like
bit.
He has accolades. Yeah,
he isn't known as a good player, but he has put in the work. With like, he's been playing for 7 years.
Yeah.
So that's like ridiculous.
Grind,
like a player that has been playing for 7 years in this country would have been known, but I get it as well. Like there are like a lot of times where I go to like a regional and like someone who's sitting against Raphael Nevin, and the player's like, yeah, how long have you been playing Yu-Gi-Oh? Like he has no clue who he is. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess so. It's just strange. So weird. And I think a lot of Americans really more or less recognize like Yu-Gi tubers over like people with like actual accolades. Not to say that all Yu-Gi tubers don't have accolades, but
I get no recognition.
There might be like one guy's like, hey, you're that one dude, I watch your videos, you're the man. But like other than that, yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'd assume for you as well, like going to a regional, seeing like Jesse Cotton, this could be like the 5th time you've seen Jesse Cotton this month, you know, or something like that.
He's also like just plastered all over the place whenever he wins something. And like everyone knows Cody because he was our like national champion. And like everyone knows Pac because he's a grinder.
I have like the same like Raphael attends locals, you know, so it's like not special to me. But then we had like for our locals, we had like people from all across the Netherlands, I already said, and they were like, oh, when is Raphael participating? And I'm like, why do you want Raphael to participate?
He's got a fan club.
Yeah, they were actually like one of the guys actually is a fan of Raphael. Like actually, like he's a big fan, and I was like, yeah, I'll try to get him
man.
on. But...
like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh GX, like get out of here.
No one can.
That's
Raphael.
So funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's hilarious. I mean, like that's the thing is like you probably did this to him too, but like Ryan Fletcher, the guy that like quote invented Block BA, that guy, he goes to my locals. Like he's lives like down the street from me. Like I could be at his house in like 10 minutes. So he comes in and we're like, holy shit, is that Ryan Fletcher top 8 UDS?
I do it with Raphael all the time. I just go somewhere, Raphael walks in, oh my god, is that Raphael Nevin Rodsmith?
Yeah, so it's definitely like a meme, but then like we go to regionals and like that guy specifically like has a crowd, and it's like,
yo,
what about all these other guys that are like tables like 1 through 5 over here? Those guys are winning too. Like,
I remember when Simo came to YCS London, and he was like people were all around him, and I was like, at the side, watching him and Lithium, Steven, I don't know if you know Lithium, right?
And Lithium's a god, dude. He's the greatest of all time. Yeah.
I actually, this is like kind of a humble brag. Like, Lithium is my friend. No, we actually like chill at events together because like he's just there for the deck profs and the content, and we're just friends, so we hang out. And we were like standing over there, and I was like, shall I just shout out your name really hard? And he's like, please don't. Because he doesn't want the attention.
He also doesn't show his face, dude. It's like so apparent that he's like trying to detach his persona from it, and he's just like, please just watch my deck pro replays.
Exactly, and then he just sits at the filming area, and it's like, yeah, I'll take your deck profile. It's cool.
He's the man. I love that guy for
he's the best.
Just the fact that he uploads for everything, no matter how bad it is. There's a foundation for any build that you want.
I sat next to him at a YCS because he always plays round 1, then he drops for the Traveler mat because he goes there anyway. And he was playing his Monarch deck after fucking Pantheism got banned and everywhere as well. And then his opponent did Spiral combo, and he was like, must be nice. It's very
nice, yeah.
Oh, it was
what's up, guys? Hilarious. This fucking dickhead's over here. Fucking,
I love him.
Yeah, he's the best. Yeah. He really is the best.
It's cool that we have so much similarities though, that you have famous players over there that you just know, and have famous players over here, and it kind of comes down to
bullshit them, yeah.
the ink of the cards, it's normal for you, but it's different for me and stuff that.
Yeah, it's weird how worlds apart it is, but we all it's different too, or rather it's different for Japan, because we play the same format and it's still this foreign. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's quite literally foreign, but
it's interesting though that there are so many. I thought that it would be a very different world, from what it sounds now, just go to locals and hang out. It all just sounds the same, and then you have the occasional tryhards that no one actually cares about. That's roughly the same as we have. Just quite interesting to see, because I expected it to be way different in your I expected either the max competitiveness or because you have 2,000 people coming to your locals. But it's interesting to hear we have the same kind of struggles, but the different kind of struggles. For me, a YCS is with the train. Yeah. But for you, a local, it's 30 people standard. Well, people in the
it's awesome. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, pretty cool. Anything else you wanted to talk about, or any questions you have left?
No, not really. I think we pretty much covered it all. Yeah, it seems good. Yeah. It's been fun, man.
Yeah, it was. So I'll leave your link in the description down below if you want to see some very interesting deck profiles. And with very interesting, I mean, these are very interesting. Then be sure to go to The Worst Duelist. And yeah, thank you for joining me on this small escapade. And I'm sure we will collab again in the future.
So definitely. I'm looking forward to that. Seems good. Maybe I'll get some remote duels someday.
Exactly. And maybe we will actually play a YCS together once. And we'll see about that
hopefully.
In the future. I want to go to America so bad for YCS.
I want to go to Europe so bad.
Yeah. Okay.
But alas, seems good.
We'll see. We'll hope better times. Thank you guys for watching. And we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.